Hey, good morning, guys. No face cam today because I forgot everything. Good morning, good morning. Can you hear me? Hopefully so. Let me know if you can hear me. Maybe. All right. Someone said yes. We got one yes. All right. It's beautiful. I was just waiting for the yes. All right. So, how's everyone doing? This live stream is going to have to be a little bit quicker here today, guys. So, we're pretty much going to maybe wait a few minutes here, but we're going to get right into it. I mean, right into it, because I got a plane I got to get on, and we're just gonna conduct some business. It's a business live stream. It's not a talk about this, talk about that. We'll get right into business today. No face today. I know you can't see my beautiful face today. I'm sorry. Why does Vincent have no face cam but not me? That's a good question. Loud and clear. Very nice. This is the MacBook Pro audio, actually. So it's probably pretty good, actually. It's weird not having a face cam. I can do whatever I want. I could be shirtless right now. You never know. All right, guys. Well, welcome back. Hope everyone had a good day yesterday. Hope everyone made some money. Profitable. Had some nice trades. That 16,040 level that we talked about on the NASDAQ was very, very nice. It was the perfect rejection from Friday of last week. It was 16,040. So very, very nice. 16,040. That was a very nice rejection there on the NASDAQ futures. And then on the QQQ, it was around that 389, that 388.50 level that we were watching, and it was that 390 area on the QQQ. So you're not in 1080p today? Yeah, it's because this shitty Streamlabs. So yeah, unfortunate. I'm trying to make it work as best I can, guys. But yeah, I gotta figure out the mobile stream. Sometimes has some problems, and it's quite annoying. Streamlabs is pretty bad. I really don't like Streamlabs. I don't know how to use it fully correctly yet, but we'll get there. I like OBS better than Streamlabs. I think they're the same company, but OBS, the old version, I like a whole lot better. So yeah, we'll get it. Hopefully you can see. I mean, 720p should be good enough to see the levels on the screen, I would assume. Looks like Vince Brigade today. Yeah, Trade Brigade has no face cam. Wonder what that guy looks like, right? Shout out Trade Brigade. He's a good guy. Someone said on YouTube that I'm copying him. And I was like, dude, I like the guy. What am I copying? Um, so NASDAQ, right? Let's just jump right into it today, guys. Let's jump right into it. So here, let's just get it all together and let's get going. So press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Here we go. All right, so 15,875, that's today, right? 15,875, bam, right there. 15,875, bam, right there. 15,875, right there, right there, and right there, right? That's very clear. I mean, this is as clear as it's going to get here on the NASDAQ today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 times we just sort of had reactions at that 15,875, right? Very, very nice. Now, today, right, what are we doing? We are pushing right back into that level. If there's one level to watch today, it's this level right here. And on top of that, not only is 15,875, right, not only is it this major reaction point, it is also the 20 SMA to the T today, right? The 20 SMA is right there. So, if there's one level to watch today, it's 15,875. It's this 15,880 area, right? This is the area that will decide what the market does today. That is very, very clear, right? You can see all these previous lows, rejection, lows, rejection yesterday, right? And we're coming right back into that level. So that's my level today. This 15,875, these previous lows, right? And that 20 SMA, that is going to be where I really focus in on the NASDAQ today. We also have that 20 SMA right above. That's the level that I would be focusing on. A little bit of upside coming in right now. All right? So that's very clear. If we see a rejection of this level, then we look to see if we can play that downside, right? We look to see if we can play that downside. If we see, so here's the problem for me today, is that I am on my laptop and I do not know all the shortcuts to delete these. There we go. And if we get above that 20 SMA, all right, if we hold above that 20 SMA, that could be a potential long today, right? If we start to see this 20 SMA hold up, if we start to see this area hold up, and we start to see it hold above this right here, all this, all right, if the NASDAQ starts to turn this level back into demand, right here, then that could be that potential long that brings us back into that 16,000 supply, all right? So this would probably be the only long that I would consider today, to be honest. If we can get above that 15,875, if we can get above that 20 SMA, then that would be a potential long spot, maybe back into that channel high at 16,000. If we do not get over this 20 SMA, and we do not see some type of a strong hold above it, then I'm going to look for this reaction and this rejection pretty much all day, right? Pretty much all day. Do I ever take intraday break and retest? Absolutely. That's all I trade. So that's the level. And if you do take that short, right, and you do get that short today, 15,800, 15,760, those are the two previous lows that I would look for that demand into, right? So if you do take this short today, right, let's say you take this short right here, this is where you need to take profits, right? Or if you break that, this is where you need to take profits, right? Because you don't want to short into the previous lows, right? We don't want to short into the previous lows, right? So 15,800 demand, 15,760 demand, then there's that extreme low at 15,007, right? And this is the inflection point. In my eyes, it's all right here, right? If we really zoom in, I think all right here is where the market will decide what happens today. Is it a rejection of the 20 SMA? Is it a hold above the 20 SMA, the daily 20 SMA? That would be my major watch. All right. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys there. Before we continue, I just want to 1 second. One second. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any economic calendar action. Today, Today, okay, we just have just jobless claims this morning at 8:30. So we'll see what happens there at 8:30 on jobless claims. All right, let's continue. So QQQ. Yesterday, you guys, maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. But if you watch my Instagram, or I might even post it on YouTube Shorts so that some of you can see that there as well. Yesterday was a beautiful break and retest of the pre-market highs, right, around this 389 level on the Qs. This was our 389 supply, right? We held above it here in the pre-market. Remember we were talking about, hey, watch out for 389, and then that data came out, right? The data came out around 389, and we said, oh, okay, we're getting that upside, right? The data pushed us to the upside. We got above that 389, and we held it. However, right, big rejection, and this rejection is because of the ES. I'm gonna skip ahead real quick, but we'll go back. Why did the ES reject? We were talking about that 4,600 level, and man, was that beautiful. That was gorgeous yesterday. The push into 4,600 supply on the ES and just the perfect rejection. That was a beauty yesterday. So QQQ, you saw that reaction as well, right? And what happened yesterday, if we go down to the 5-minute chart, this was the short that we took with the group, was the 389 rejection of pre-market highs right here, right? And that caused that downside. Now, if we go back to the 30-minute chart and we zoom in here, this is very interesting today because actually the QQQ is starting to reclaim a very important level in the pre-market here. Instagram is on the bottom left of your screen. So you guys can see right here, we had that previous Thursday, Friday low, right, at 386. That previous Friday low at 386 turned into a rejection. It turned back into a support. It turned into a support later day yesterday, ultimately breaking, right? But look what's happening here. We are back above 386 as we speak. So actually, this needs to now turn green on my chart. Why is that? Because if we go to the 5-minute chart here, look what's going on right now. The QQQ has reclaimed that 386 level. So we are back above, if we go to the 386 level, we are back above this low. And that's important, right? That's very important this morning. We're back above this 386 low. That's something I would very much watch on the QQQ. If we are above that 386 on the QQQ, I would not be shorting into that level, right? So that's a pretty important little reclaim this morning that's happening as we speak, above that 386 level. So that's your major watch today. You also have that 20 SMA on the QQQ right below, right? And that'll probably update maybe somewhere around here today, right? I know it's not updated yet, the daily 20, but once the market opens, that daily 20 will update. And it'll probably update, I'm going to assume, right around that 386 level. So 386, if we're above it, right? If we're above it, that is going to be something to very, very closely watch. And if we're above it, I would not short back into it, right? I would not short back into that 386 level. That would be actually, in my eyes, a potential long spot, right? Because you're holding the 20 and you're holding the previous double bottom lows from last week. You're holding this low and this little consolidation-ish level. It did ultimately break yesterday, but it was a very nice hold on previous days here. So all about 386 for me today, right? All about that 386 for me today on the QQQ. We'll have to see what happens on jobless claims. If we break back under 386 and we reject it, then we're coming down and we're shorting into these lows around 384, right? Into 384. All right? So 386, guys, on the QQQ, very important. All right, let's go to ES. So ES is doing, again, it's the same exact thing over and over and over again, right? Look at this chart. This chart is just, it's sideways, man. That's all I can say. It's sideways. So you can see here, guys, yesterday morning, we were getting our little squeeze, right, into that 4,600. And we were saying, all right, hey, if you guys are part of the Discord, you heard me on the little morning review, right? Saying it's really hard to long here. It's really hard to long. I know the market looks like it's moving higher, but man, is it hard to be a long trader into this 4,600 supply. And yeah, I mean, that was really nice. So just respecting of the levels, understanding that 4,600 is a major supply. We moved into that level yesterday morning and we got slammed, right? The market got slammed off that 4,600 supply. Very nice break and retest, nice downside here. This right here, let me see if I can pull this up actually. This was a really clean intraday rejection. I was on my phone at this time, and I was talking to the group. I was like, oh man, this looks good. I wish I was trading right now. This was an intraday break and retest. Like someone asked me if I trade it. If I was there at my desk, I would have. Let me find it real quick. All right, here it is. Yeah, you guys can see this. So right here, I was on my phone. Sexy little retest. I said this was. You can see right here. This was a break and retest of that 45.78 level on the ES. That is right here. Right. Look at this little previous low that turned into a perfect rejection intraday yesterday, and that created a very nice downside trade. So right there, it was a very key right there intraday on the ES, that little 45.77 break and retest right there. So that is a level right now that we are going to watch back to the upside. So if we go back to the 30-minute chart and we zoom in here, you guys can see right now the ES, what is it doing? It is curling off of demand. All right, once again, we have our demand down below. You guys can see that right here, demand right here, and we are curling off that 45.50 demand once again. So today, I would look for that pop and that potential rejection of 45.77, right? Or you look for that move above 77, right, for a trade back into the 46. Or, right, if we just sort of break down here, I would look to see what happens at 45.50 today. Those are really the three areas that we watch, right? Those are really the three areas that we watch. 45.77, 45.80, right? 45.50, right? 45.50, you can see right there. 45.50 demand, 45.77 rejections, and then 4,600, right? 4,600, 45.77, 45.50. Sam Help is the definition of a trader that has a bias, has an ego, and thinks that they're going to know what's going to happen intraday, right? I'm not saying anything that's definite in this live stream, right? I hope you guys realize that. There is no definites in my analysis. I do not tell you what's going to happen. I give you the levels, I give myself the levels, and I adjust to whatever happening on the market, right? If the QQQ holds 386 today, then I would look to long the QQQ, right? And I would look for a pop to the upside on the QQQ. The same thing that Sam Help knows is going to happen, right? He knows that's going to happen because he's seen the future, right? So if the QQQ holds 386 today, I'm going to look to long the market, right? That's just a simple fact because I am trading off a technical level, right? But, you have some people out there that already know what's going to happen. So, you don't, unfortunately, sometimes you just can't beat those people that know what the market is going to do. It's unfortunate, but we can't beat that. So 386, right? That's our QQQ level. You guys can see right here on the ES, you have demand there. So why would you short today, right? Because your risk reward today on the ES at least, right? We can't see or we can't short back into this 45.50, right? We can't short back into 45.50 on the ES. It's just not a valid trade at this point, right? It's not a valid trade at this point because you are pushing back into demand. So Yesterday, look, right, that was our short up at the 4,600, right? That was our short, that was our supply rejection. But now we're back at demand. So it's a little bit less interesting, right? It's a little bit less, your risk reward is not as great today on the short side as the ES trades down into a demand level, right? Carmine, what's up, my friend? How you doing? I miss Carmine, man. Carmine's he's too big on YouTube for me now. He doesn't want to hang out anymore. So you guys can see right here, I'm sorry, ES 4550, 4577, 4600. Those are my levels today. I would look for this, right? That would be one rejection area that I'd watch, this 4577. You can see the multiple reactions here. 1, 2, right? 3. All these reactions. That was that triple top, right? And that was yesterday's break and retest, right? That was yesterday's right here. See this little reaction here at 45.77? You have the lows intraday. That turned into highs intraday right there at 45.77. So if you push back to the upside, that would be the level I would monitor, okay? All right, so that's the ES. Let's go to the SPY. So the SPY, right? What is the SPY doing today? You guys can see right here. We are holding that demand low on the SPY. This 450, 450, right here. This is that low here. This is that low here, right? This is some previous lows right here. So that 455 or 450 area is a very strong demand that once again is holding, and we're starting to curl back to the upside. Below 454, right, you still have 453.50. You still have this, right, and you still have this back to the downside. So, he still doesn't get it, does he? He still doesn't get it. He still thinks that he has to prove that he's right. Get him out. Get him out. I don't need to apologize to you, man, because I don't have a bias. I'll trade the upside. Get him out. All right, so 450, 453.50, right? Those are our two demands to the downside, right? See those levels? Now, if we continue to push to the upside here, right, you have to be careful of that 457 level because that is that previous rejection, right? That is that previous triple top rejection and that previous rejection here that you need to be cautious of on the upside. So if I'm going to long today, right, if I'm going to long the market today, I would like to be long closer to this demand, right? That's sort of the concept there. If you're going to long the market, you want to long it close as possible. Not, obviously you have to watch the reactions, right? You're not going to just, if you're at 45.50 today, you're not going to just long it, immediately. You have to see some strong hold there. But in regards of risk reward, I want to be long as close to this 45.50 as possible so that I have good risk reward into that 45.77 supply. So that's the same thing on the SPY, right? If I'm going to look for longs today, I want to be long as close to this 450 level, right? So that I have good risk reward back into supply at 457. So this is what I talk about, right? This is what I talk about when we're trading in the middle of a channel like this, right? We can bring out the fib boys. I know some of you guys are fib boys, right? You don't really want to take an entry at the 50% retracement of a channel, right? Because then at that point, your trade it's a 50-50 and your risk reward is basically, you could take a 1-to-1, right? It's possible. But, I don't like taking trades in the middle of a channel. So, unfortunately, you've already gotten this upside today, right? And so you want to try to long as close to that demand and short as close to that supply. For me today, it's SPY 454.50 demand, and it's that SPY 457 supply, right? So, hopefully you guys watch that, right? Hopefully you guys understand these levels, right? VIX, I don't watch it much, Carmine. But yeah, I think that's something to be watching. I don't really watch the VIX. Carmine, he trades a little bit different than me, right? I think everyone can trade a little bit different, right? Everyone has different styles. I try to take as much out of my trading as possible. I literally only watch these levels. And so if I see these levels get respected over and over again, right, what else do I need to look at? But that's not saying that there's other ways to watch this market, right? Everyone has their different little things that give them, really what it comes down to, guys, is, right, and this is very true, what gives you confidence to enter a trade, right? That is really what's the key. And everyone's going to have a little bit of a different thing that gives them that ultimate confidence to enter a trade, right? Maybe you need to see what the VIX is doing. Maybe you need to look at maybe what the level 2 is looking at that time. What is that thing that gives you the confidence to execute on a position, right? And so I think that's very important for, like, if you're used to looking at, let's say, like Carmine said, the VIX, then, and he doesn't look at it on a certain trade, maybe he won't have the same confidence to trade that position, right? And so for me, I don't use it, so I don't usually gain confidence from it. So if I looked at the VIX, I'd be like, I don't really care, right? It's not really going to influence what trade I take at this point. So I think that's very important. Right? What gives you that confidence to enter that position? What gives you that confidence to enter that position? What's the confluence that you're looking for? I think everyone across the market has a little bit of something different that sort of, go. I don't want to get. I was gonna say something a little bit maybe not good for YouTube. So you know what I'm trying to say, right? What gives you that confidence? So SPY or ES 4550, 4577, 4600. Those are my levels today. Let's move on. We got 4 minutes until some jobless claims. Oh, that's an interesting little look what the Russell did yesterday. All right, look at that. Look what the Russell did yesterday. We broke below our little 1860 demand. Look at how it's turning it into a rejection this morning. That's very interesting. Let's zoom out here. Yeah, that's an interesting little breakdown there on the Russell. What do we got below here? Yeah, I think we got like this, right here around this 1835 on the Russell. That's also that 100 SMA. That's probably where I'd look for the Russell to come back down into. All right, you guys can see right here. Previous highs, 1835. Previous highs, 1835, right? And you also have that 100 SMA sort of sitting right there. So Russell, right, that's a very important little break. That's an important structural break on the Russell right there yesterday. You can see right here, we went from turning 1860 into demand. Yesterday, we broke down below it, and we're turning it into a rejection point this morning. You see that? So that's very key. So in my eyes, if we stay below 1860 on the Russell, right, then we probably will trade back down into that 1835 demand. Okay? That's also the 100 SMA. Yeah, sorry about the no 1080p today, guys. The Streamlabs it's pretty garbage, not gonna lie. You can't control some things that I'm used to, and I'm trying to figure it out. But yeah, hopefully it's good enough for. It's just today. It's just today. All right, let's move on. Let's get into some stocks. We'll review the futures when we get our jobless claims data. All right, so here's Tesla, right? And what did Tesla do yesterday? Tesla pushed into the exact same level that we talked about the day prior, right? You guys can see right here, that 247, and once again, that 247, right? 247, beautiful rejection at that level again yesterday. Very nice stuff. Break to the downside, move back into demand. The demand was that 238, and we held it again. So let me zoom in a little bit closer so we can get a little bit more detail here. We can see right here, we had that supply. That was back on Tuesday of this week, right? We have that, once again, supply on Wednesday of this week, right? Rejection right here, right? Very nice double top rejection on Tesla. We drop to the downside, we come back into this demand. So today, right, I am watching this 243. And why am I watching 243? Well, if we go to the 5-minute chart here from yesterday, look what we can see here. We see this 243 level turn into a rejection, right? Intraday. So if we're pushing to the upside today, which we are right now, right, I would watch to see what happens once we get into that 243 level, right? Does this reject? Is this a potential rejection point today? Or do we get back above it? And do we hold it as a demand once again? If we go to the 5-minute chart from yesterday, right, look at what Tesla did majority of the day yesterday. It tried to hold above the 243 almost all day, ultimately failing back below it, right? And look how clean this is right here, guys. Look at this little structural change on Tesla intraday. You went from creating demand at 243 into creating a rejection point there, right? Very clear. And that caused the downside. So today, what am I going to be watching? I'm going to be watching for what are the reactions as we approach the 243 level. Do we reject it again, right? Or do we see a break and hold above? That's the key for me today, 243 on Tesla, all right? That's the key. You also have that 100 SMA right above around that 244 to be aware of. All right, so we got jobless claims numbers. Oh, look at that. Oh, could that be clean today? Could that be clean today? Man, oh man, would that be nice. All right, little 20 SMA, 15875 retest rejection. Man, could that be nice. We'll see if it happens. All right, we'll see if it happens. All right, we don't want to upset our boy Sam. But 15875, man, is that a clean level today, guys? Man, is that a clean level today? And you can start to see the reactions at that level as we speak, right? That's that Thursday, Friday low at 15875. That's that 20 SMA right there, literally right at that level. And you can see, if we zoom in here on the 5-minute chart, look at the reaction that we're starting to see off the 15875 level. That is very interesting today. This has to be on your charts. This has to be on your charts today. 15875, 20 SMA, the previous Thursday, Friday lows. That is looking very clean, right? Now, that does not mean that if you catch a short here, you're going to new lows on the market, right? You still need to be careful of these potential demands, right? We still need to be careful of these potential demands that are below. If you're trading, right, and you're actually watching levels, you would know that you have to start to potentially take some profits off into that move. Now, this is where things get sloppy for me, right? And this happens a lot on the market. And sometimes you just need to watch both of them, right, to really get the full picture, right? Because if you guys look at this QQQ, right, the NASDAQ is rejecting that Thursday, Friday low, but the QQQ is holding above it, right? So this is where things get a little bit tricky at times, where you really need to be watching both the Qs and the NASDAQ futures, because the QQQ is a different view here, right? The QQQ is actually still holding above that Thursday, Friday low right here at 386, right? So this is, I can't give you any type of real advice besides watch both of them, right? That's the only thing I can tell you, because yeah, it's different, right? It's different. NASDAQ futures, if we go back, right, look at the NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ futures is rejecting this Thursday, Friday low. It's rejecting the 20 SMA, at least for now, right? At least for now. I don't know what's going to happen intraday, of course. But if we go to the Qs, right, that's a different story. 386 is actually holding and turning into a demand as we speak. So I don't have the perfect answer to this. I see it a lot in the market, and maybe it's, maybe just a trader that's aware of what's going on will understand that and will maybe avoid a potential loss because they're watching both the Qs and the NASDAQ futures. That's the thing that's interesting to me, right? That these show different things at times. So 386, right? That's really the key level still on the Qs. And you can see it is still holding, right? It is still holding. So that's going to be the key, 386 there. Keep an eye on that 386 if you're trading the Qs today. All right? All right, let's move forward. Nvidia. We got a lot of know-it-alls in the chat today, huh? I'll just ignore them. That is what it is, man. That's just the market, you know, guys. That's the game we play, right? The game. This is, and that's actually a good thing, right? And I'm gonna tell you the honest truth here, because I like saying the truth, and I like to give the people that are that are actually here, and stay unbiased, right? We need people that think they know what's gonna happen, right? That's what we need. If you and I want to make money in the market, we need people to think they know what's going to happen, right? Because those people lose money. It's the truth, right? It's the truth. The people, the traders that come into the market that think they know what's going to happen every day, right, are the ones that will lose money. And we need those people to lose money for us to make money. And that's just the honest truth, right? The market moves money from the impatient to the patient, right? I'm sure you guys have heard that before. The market moves money from the impatient to the patient, right? And so I need some of you guys to lose some money for me to make some money. That's the truth, right? So, we need those people to come into the market. I know what's going to happen. I'm taking this trade. I have no analysis behind it, but I know it's going to happen. Trust me, bro. Right? And so those traders are the ones that we take money from. So that's just what happens. And that's the truth of the market, whether you like it or not. So anyways, Nvidia, right? Nvidia, 475, right? 475. You guys can see right here that triple top on Nvidia. Beautiful rejection yesterday, man. Beautiful, right? Look at how clean. We talked about this one in the live stream yesterday. If you go back to the live stream yesterday, we said look for that retest of that triple bottom, right? Look for the retest of the triple bottom, right? And so look at that look at the retest of the triple bottom, right? Beautiful retest of that triple bottom of Nvidia. And what a downside move, right? What a downside move. Now, what are we looking for today, right? What's the view? What are we looking at today? Look at this setting up potentially right now on Nvidia, right? Of course, we still have the market to open. We still have to watch what's going to happen, right? We're not going to just take this trade based off of what's happening right now, but this is what you want to be watching, right? This right here is a previous high in Nvidia around 458. Let's call it 458. This is right here a previous low on Nvidia at 458, right? This is, if we zoom in, I'll go even closer here and show you how important this level is. If we zoom in even more on the 5-minute chart, this is a previous low and a rejection intraday on Nvidia, right? And look at the level that we are sitting at right now on Nvidia, right? We are sitting right at that 458. I'm actually going to move this up to 458. We are sitting right at that 458. And this could be a beautiful break and retest rejections. All right. So 458, that's a big watch on Nvidia today. Now, my only concern about 458 shorting this level today is that there is very strong demand below on Nvidia, right? There is very strong demand below on Nvidia. I don't love shorting Nvidia here today because of this 50, 100 SMA and this demand at 450. So if Nvidia, right, and this is where you look both sides, guys, right? Here's an exact example of you can't come in with a certain bias. If Nvidia comes in today, breaks 458 and turns it back into a support, that is definitely a long opportunity, right? If Nvidia gets back above this low, gets back above that little breakdown yesterday, right, and starts to hold 458, I am definitely interested in the longs back into 464. So why do I give you technical levels to every morning on this live stream? Why do I provide technical levels on this live stream? Because these are the levels that you can look for trades off of to either direction. All right, 458 on Nvidia could be a short and a rejection of this previous low. This could also be a very nice potential long and a reclaim of that 458, right? So either way, right, we watch the 458, we look to see what it does, right? This hold at 450 has been very strong, right? This hold at 450 has been strong, and that 150 SMA have been strong as well. So just watch that 458 today on Nvidia, all right? Let's move on. AMD. So AMD, once again, rejected our supply above, right? It rejected our supply above our 121.50, 121.50, 121.50, right? Even in the morning here on this push, right? Even this pre-market push, we're still rejecting that 121.50. Now, we have to watch, right? Even though that's rejecting, right? We have to watch the 119 demand below, right? And why are we watching 119 demand below? We can see right here, we have that 119 demand, we have that 119 rejection, we have that 119 hold here, which ultimately failed and caused downside. But look at this little pre-market hold at 119. So today, AMD is in nothing but a channel, right? AMD is between 121.50 and 119. That's our channel today on AMD. You guys have heard these levels on AMD multiple times, and we've been respecting these channels for weeks now. So if you get a push into 121.50, be cautious of that rejection. If you get a drop into 119, watch for that demand. All right, those are our levels on AMD. These have been pretty much the same levels all week. Watch the 119 and the 121.50. All right. Google. So Google had a little catalyst today saying, something about their AI outperforming ChatGPT, something along those lines. This is a very key level today, right here. It's this little it's these previous lows. Let me delete this and make this green. All right. You see this right here, right? Look to the left. Always look to the left. It's always in the box on the left side. Right here, previous lows, previous lows, previous lows, previous lows, right? See all that? 135.30, 135 demand. Let's go over now. And look what Google's doing right now. Look how interesting that is. So if Google holds over 135 today, right, and we can even, now after seeing this, you might want to just leave that line at 135. If Google is above 135 today, I would not short Google, all right? This is a very big hold, and you can see how important that level was in the past. We got to go back to the hourly chart. I know it's a little bit off when you look at it from here, right? It's really like the 135.30, but when we zoom in, right, you can see these holds here at 135, the holds here at 135, right? Holds, right? And if we zoom in, look at what's happening here on Google. Very nice hold at 135. So if we zoom out and we go to the hourly chart, where's our target on a 135 long on Google? Our target is up into 137, right? 137, 137, right? 137. So what I would look for today is a potential long off 135. Look to see if that holds nice and strong, and look for that move into 137. If Google gets above 137 and holds above that, then you're moving higher, right? Then you're continuing higher. So Google, very nice upside this morning. 135 is going to be your key hold, right? Keep an eye on that 135, and then watch that 137. But 135, you can already see it. Look how key that level is right now in the pre-market. Do not try to short Google back into that level. That is a very strong level forming this morning. 135 on Google. All right. Amazon. Oh wow, look at this. I didn't see that until obviously right now, because it's as we're talking. This is sort of setting up. Look at this 145.50 level on Amazon. So 145.50, right? 145.50 right here. 145.50. 145.50 right there. 145.50 right here, right? 1, 2. Look at all these demand holds. 3. You have a little bit of a hold yesterday. 4, right? All right, get Josh out. Get him out. I mean, what's with these people today, man? It's just like too late for Google, bud. Nice, dude. That's sick. Moron. All right. 145.50, right? 1, 2, right? 3. A couple holds at that 145.50 on Amazon. If I go zoom in, what did I do to be too late? What am I trading in the am I trading here? Am I trading options in the pre-market? So you guys can see right here. Look at that hold at 145.50, right? Look at that hold at 145.50. That's a very interesting hold. So you can see that's a previous, we go back one more time, we'll review it one more time. Hourly chart, all right, right here, 145.50, 145.50, right? Nice demand there. 145.50, nice demand there, right? Look at that triple bottom low at 145.50. And if we go into the 5-minute chart now, look at what Amazon is doing, right? Look at what Amazon's doing at that 145. That's a very clean hold right there. So if Amazon maintains that level, right? If Amazon maintains that level, that is a very interesting long. I would just be a little bit cautious into this right here. Yeah, the chat's going to have to go to subscriber only soon. Or we're just going to have to, actually, no, it's all right. I enjoy it, man. It's good, right? You guys can see it, right? It's good to see it. It's good to see it, right? It should give you confidence, right? It should give you confidence about the people you're trading against. So 146, right? This little 146.20, 1, 2, and 3, right? You guys can see right there, 146.20 area, right? And you can see, right, if you do get upside, you have to be just a little bit cautious of that rejection up there, right? Just a little bit cautious. Oh, what the hell? If I would even be more interested to see if Amazon breaks and holds above that level for even more confidence to the upside, right? A little bit more confidence to the upside if we get over that 146.20 level. Someone said something. What does too late even mean? Stocks can be levered. There are always entry points. I totally agree, Matt. See, like I know Matt's a good, an understand, and is an actual trader, right? That Matt's comment there, right? What does too late even mean? Stocks are moving between levels. There's always an entry point for a trade if you're patient. Absolutely, Matt. And very, very smart, right? Very smart, very mature, right? Very mature comment and understanding of how the market trades, right? So that's just that's the difference right there, guys, right? So yeah, I'm watching this little triple top here from yesterday, right? This 146.20 area, I'd watch that. You could say 146.50, maybe a little bit, right? Maybe a little bit, but I like to trade off that previous high right there. And if Amazon is above 145.50, that's a very nice demand today. I would be watching that, all right? Let's go to Microsoft, because Microsoft is holding a pretty interesting level here, guys. I don't know if you remember this level. So this right here is a previous all-time high, right? This right here is a previous all-time high on Microsoft. That's at 366, right? That's at 366. Now, if we go to the 30-minute chart, look at what's happening at 366, right? Look at what's happening at 366. You held that here, and you're trying to hold it again today. If Microsoft is above 366, right? If Microsoft is above 366, I would not look to short Microsoft today. That is a very nice maintain of that previous all-time high. That's a very strong hold for now. We need to see if Microsoft can hold, right? We need to see if Microsoft can hold above 366. If it can, I think you could get that upside push towards that 371, right? Towards that 371. So all eyes on Microsoft 366 today, all right? That's a big level. Watch that demand today. Jay Price. I appreciate that, Jay. All right, guys. And for my final act, and for my final and probably favorite setup of the day, right? It's right here. Look at how beautiful this little break and retest is on Apple as we speak. This is interesting. This is a top watch of the day. The problem is, how much does Apple actually move? But man, is this a nice retest entry. And I think ADR took this yesterday. Shout out ADR. Yes, she did. She took a Apple 195 call December 15th. Very nice. Stop loss under 192. That's a great trade. I like that idea. And that's looking really nice this morning. The idea behind that trade, right? It's the previous highs, right? It's the previous triple top high. You get a break, you get a pullback, and you are holding above that 192 level. That is a very interesting setup and something I would absolutely be watching today. If Apple is above 192, right? If Apple is above 192, if Apple is above the previous triple top rejections, you can see how it's holding that level this morning. Very nice hold on Apple this morning. Watch that 192 demand and then just be cautious of that 194.50 supply above. All right? If the market opens and Apple's here, right, then that trade's sort of invalidated, guys, right? It's invalidated and we can't really take an entry on it based off the 192 hold. We need to be in as close to that 192 as possible to get that risk reward to the upside. If you miss that 192 entry, then if Apple's breaking above these highs, right, then your next entry is on a hold above that 194.50, right? All right, guys. So let's review the NASDAQ real quick. Let's get an idea of what it's doing. So you guys can see right here, NASDAQ is pushing through that 15,875. Very nice, right? Now, what are you looking for now, right? And this is when everyone, like, it was too late, right, guys? It's the same thing every day. It was too late to long the NASDAQ yesterday, right, in the pre-market, wasn't it? Right? What happened? Okay? It was too late, you know, at 8:45 yesterday in the live stream. There was probably some ideas of, hey, it was too late to long the NASDAQ, right? Oh my God, it's too late. It's too extended. Bam, right? Bam. ES, right? Oh man, it's too late to long the ES yesterday. Or, you know, maybe I need to chase this thing. Bam, 4,600. There's re-entries, right? There are re-entries on the market every single day. Every single day, there's a pullback and a re-entry. So, what are you looking for today? You are waiting for that pullback. You're waiting for that pullback to that 20 SMA. You're waiting for that 875 hold. If you get that, very nice potential long today, right? Very nice potential long. If we get a nice pullback to that 15,875 on the NASDAQ futures, a nice hold of that 20 SMA, that would be my long spot for upside today. ES, look at that demand hold. Beautiful demand hold. Now, here's how I'm going to leave you off, all right? This is how I'll leave you off. You're getting a big squeeze in the pre-market. You are getting a big squeeze into some very important previous rejection points. Be careful of this 45.80, 45.77 supply that is approaching, okay? Be cautious there. That's going to be your next inflection point on the market. If you push to the upside, be cautious of this 45.77, 45.80 on the market. That's going to be your next big watch. All right, guys? All right, I hope you enjoyed the live stream. We had a little fun today, huh? Couple jokesters, couple know-it-alls, couple hot shots. We love the hot shots, man. We love them hot shots. Keep an eye on the levels, trade the levels, come into every day with no bias, right? Don't get juiced up because of a pre-market move. The pre-market moves have meant nothing a lot of the time on this market in this channel. So trust your levels. Right? If you move into that 45.77, 45.80, watch that level. All right? And if you pull back to that NASDAQ demand, watch that level. Right? Trade off the levels. Don't trade off what you think is going to happen. It doesn't matter. Who do you think you are? Think about it logically, guys. Who do you think you are that what you think is going to happen on the market, right? That does not mean anything. What you think is going to happen does not mean anything. Watch the levels. If you start to see something form, if your trade setup starts to form, if your structure starts to set up and your strategy starts to fire, then you take your trade, right? You take your trade, you manage your risk, right? And you watch and you manage your position. That's the key. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. If you guys could, before you head out, wow, we got 1,000 likes without me even asking. People must have liked some of the Ejectocito, huh? So, thank you guys again. Press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll try to do. I can probably do this tomorrow. I'll do this tomorrow. I'll be away tomorrow, but yeah, I should be able to get a nice little mobile live stream again tomorrow. So, press that like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, my friends.